All right, you're joining me on step 5. I think you've probably seen the other 4 videos, so I'm going to go right into professionalism. So you'll see me from time to time look down at my notes because this is really quite a bit to organize here. When somebody meets you face to face, they've already had several contacts with you. They've seen your website, they've seen your business card, maybe you've talked on the phone, maybe you've emailed, maybe you've text messaged. But their impression has already been formed, and one of the best things you can do is respond in a timely manner. The typical response is 24 to 48 hours. So if you are traveling, if you're away, or if you're just a person that just can't get to your email or doesn't do that promptly, that should be reflected in your messages. You should have an instant thing that said, "Thank you very much for your inquiry. I will be getting back to you shortly. In the meantime, go to my website." Same thing with your voice message. I know for me, I'm an introvert. I love writing. So I'm not always the best at a phone call that same day. I will get you back within 48 hours. But I do have right on there on my message to text me. So that's important. Now, I want to tell you something. Particularly strong in my heart is working with children. And if a parent is calling you because they're looking for a teacher for their young child, realize that nothing in this planet is more important than their child. That is the power of love of a parent. And when you don't call back right away, it's insulting. So please be respectful. If you're full, refer them to a colleague. If you're full, put them on your wait list. If you're full, give some ideas, but don't just not call. Now, on that same sense, what I need to let you know, you need to be responding to everybody in your musical circles, all your colleagues and groups locally, likely in a timely manner. And here's what happened behind the scenes that I've never shared this before. I was full for quite some time in my studio here in Eugene. And I got to a point where I only would refer families that I couldn't teach. I didn't do a wait list at this time. I just really wanted to get people into a situation as fast as possible. So I would share a referral list, and I whittled that down to only my colleagues that were prompt in their replies. And I think that's a fair thing to do. So have integrity with your communications. Now, the next thing is something that might be unique, you never have heard of, and I just love it. It's called a welcome packet. Actually, we do this on the Music for Young Violinists project. I think that's where I got the idea from. You know, it's a chance for you to show what you've got. So here's how I organize my welcome packet. It's something that I just organically did every year, every school year for my existing teaching studio. What I would do is create an online PDF, collated PDF that is zipped out to everybody, and then I gave a hard copy, and here's what was in it. A welcome letter, and in that letter I would highlight anything that needed to stand out. Did we have a policy change? Was there a unique schedule coming up this year? Did we add a special event? Best way to contact me, sick policy, etc., etc., etc. So that was the welcome letter. The next thing I would always add is studio policies. Even if you've taught somebody for 10 years, remind them, here's what tuition is, here's when it's due, here's how you can pay me, here's my makeup lesson policy, here's my late lesson policy, here's what's expected of you, here's what to do if you can't come. Okay, so everything is right there. And that really lets perspectives, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, I would have all my schedules. I would have a whole grid of all my private teaching, and then I'd have a whole 9-month calendar of every group class, special event, practice party, recital, outreach, guest speakers, and dress rehearsals. That was all there. And then I would give a resource list, so where you could get supplies, and studio pledges. And my pledges are something, I'll put a link down there so you can see what they are. They just represented my value system. So this went out already. I had this already created. It's what I needed to do for myself to stay organized. It's how I like to present myself to the families that I work with. It helps us all stay organized. But it was already there, and I just pushed send for every new inquiry that came my way. That way they got to know me. All these questions that otherwise might take an hour or 2 on the phone were answered. Tuition was clear. Expectations were clear. Values were clear. Where do you get an instrument? Where do I get materials? What are the materials? When can I come and observe? When is your recital? Everything is there. You do it one time at the end of the summer, and then you have it for 9 months. And it's just a professional way to present yourself and really show what makes you special. What I didn't say too yet is when I had this welcome pack, I don't like to just do things through email. Maybe if you know me through Music for Young Violinists, you're saying, wait, don't you just sell digital things? Believe me, if I could just give that hard copy to you, I would in a heartbeat. But I'm just a traditional girl, so when I would first, giving an email made it quick. That was instant. Questions were answered, connections were made, values were established. But when somebody walked in my studio door for their first observations or their interviews, whatever we organized, then they got the hard copy of the welcome packet. And on that I had, with a paperclip, a brochure for my studio, 2 business cards, and I had a laminated sheet created of this philosophy page called 20 Memos from Your Child. It was just very special to me. And even if the family didn't work with me, I just was a beautiful message I wanted to give out. So that came to everybody that walked in my door. Final notes, images. I make everything on this cool website called Canva. It's mostly free or $1 for an image if you want to do that, but there's a lot free. It's drag and drop. They look professional. They've got business card templates, Facebook templates, YouTube templates, letter templates. You get the picture. Basically, any image that you want for your, either that's your website or your welcome packet or your emails, whatever. If you want it to look professional, they've got some really great ones there. So thank you for joining me on step 5. If you have some ideas, we're here to share. Go ahead and take a moment to write them in the comments below. Also, if you haven't yet hit subscribe, I would love to have you do that. And here's why. I don't actually create that many videos. This is kind of a rare thing for me to do a series like this. But when YouTube sees that I get more subscribers, it picks it up in a special algorithm and it promotes this channel more. And this is my labor of love. This is my way to give back to the world. And if you could just help promote this message, I would be grateful. Thank you so much, and we've got a couple steps to go. See you soon.